Hello everyone, this is Tarun from Perfect Pixel. Welcome to the first tutorial of Perfect Pixel. Today, what are we gonna do? How about some macro? Alright, so first things first, stay well, stay safe. The situation out there is pretty bad. So yeah, just take care of yourself. Now, things about macro, it's a completely different genre of photography. So what we can do actually in macro is that we can bring small things into a life-size photo. That's the beauty of macro, and it has its own challenges, and I've got my own workflow and all that stuff. So what we're gonna do today is I'm gonna just show you how I actually shoot my macro shots live here outside in my garden. I'm gonna go through my gear that I use. I'm gonna tell you the techniques, my composition techniques and all that stuff, that what is the thinking process that goes behind an image. So this tutorial will be in 3 parts. So the first part is actually shooting the macro. Let's get on to it. So what we have got here is Nikon D850 and a Nikkor lens, which is 105, perfect for macros. And I've got some flower which I picked from my garden, and what we have is a backdrop. I like it black because later on it just helps me with the post process and all that stuff. The simpler the better it is. So the flower, it has been placed on a crocodile holder. That's what we call it. You just get it from eBay. You'll find the links in the description. So all this gear set up and everything's been placed on a chair from a dining table. So yeah, fairly simple setup. And the beauty of shooting outside is that you don't have to worry about light and all that stuff, and you can just unleash your creativity. Okay my friends, so the scene today, it's going to be fairly simple. What we're going to do is that you've seen all of my setup and all that stuff. So we have to turn this flower into a life-size object, and there are many ways to achieve this, but the simplest and the easiest way is using a dedicated macro lens. Because I use Nikon, so I prefer Nikkor lenses, and if you use Canon, Olympus, or whatever your camera is, you should be able to get macro lenses. And for those who don't have macro lenses, not to worry. What I'm going to do is that we're going to take a shot today, and in my next tutorial, which is going to be really interesting in the world of Photoshop, we'll jump into it and I'll provide the exact raw file that we clicked today. Alright, so not to worry, we'll do this all together, and hopefully we'll make a fine art out of this image that we captured today. Alright, first things first, what we have to do is, you can actually take this handheld because I have to record the video, so I had to put this camera on a tripod so that I can show you what is the process that I go through, how I compose my frames and all that stuff. So first things first, I'll turn on my camera, put it on live view, and I really like to take shots on manual focus because it gives me more control, and during things like focus stacking, the lenses don't hunt for autofocus. So if I put this on autofocus, you'll see the lens will hunt for a focus. Here you go. Now the lens will decide where to focus, where to not, and that's why I'm a kind of a manual guy. I like to take control of my shots. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna put my lens, which is Nikkor 105 2.8, on manual mode. Now the worry of autofocusing is off. Lens won't be hunting for any focus. So for me, the subject is not actually the flower, it's the center part of it. That's a subject for me. So what we have to do is that we have to actually focus on the flower the center part, and you can see there's a focus peeking on my camera. So you see these red dots, it tells me that where is my focal plane on the camera. Alright, if I want to focus in front of the flower, like closer to me, I can actually just focus it. See, the focus is changing. So as I move my focus ring, the focus will change. So I want my focus round about just about the center. Right, this is good. Now because the light is really good, I'm just gonna crank up my aperture, which gives me a bit of a good depth of field to play with. So I'm just gonna set it to about 9, f9, and you can see it's changing over here. And I shoot on manual mode, and ISO I try to keep it below 500, so we'll just go for 320. Even 320 we will take shot and see how it comes up. And my shutter speed is 1/250th of a second. So I'm happy with everything. Flower's not moving. There's a bit of a wind, but that's alright. I think 1/250 will compensate it. So take a shot. Right, let's go. Okay, that's the shot we got on 1/250. I like to keep my shots a bit underexposed because I really don't like to fix up the highlights in the post-processing because it takes away the details. We can always change lights and all that stuff in post-processing, but that's for the next tutorial. So right now what we can do is that we can actually just decrease the shutter speed. I'll bring it to 1/160th of a second and let's see what happens. Alright, we'll just take a photo. Alright, okay, so that's the actual photo. I like to actually zoom in, so we can actually zoom in from here and see that we have everything sharp. Okay, now I'll just zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. That's it. So I'm pretty happy with this photo. We'll take a couple of more shots on different settings and see what happens. Just a quick tip: try to keep the shutter speed just about right so that it can capture the movement. Like it can just, freeze the movement rather than just capturing it. So what we can do is that we can, if you want, we can try with ISO 200, bit of a less noise, and we can just decrease the shutter speed to 1/80th of a second, and because there's a bit of a wind, we'll try to take the shot. Let's see how it comes. Alright, that's not bad. Now if you want to capture the movement in the flower, what do? Alright, what we can do, that's a quick tip. What we can do is that we can bring our ISO to the minimum. On this camera it's low 1.0, and we can decrease the shutter speed, say 1/15th or 1/10th of a second. And if there's a bit of a movement in the flower, it will get captured. Alright, so the flower is not moving. Let's wait for the wind to pick up. Alright, there you go. So see, we got some movement in the flower. So it's all up to you, as per your liking. What's your taste? What you can do is that either you can freeze the flower or you can actually capture the movement in it. Right, if you lower the shutter speed more, there will be more movement in it. Alright, I hope that was fun. You guys learned something. So the things we covered: first of all, my gear, Nikkor 105 2.8, just a simple flower from my garden, a chair to rest on, and a crocodile. I'll just pick it up. A crocodile holder. This is really important. It lets you hold even smallest things possible with really ease. So a crocodile holder with a flower, what we did is that we actually placed it in front of the camera, placed our camera according to the flower, the distance, and did our settings and all that stuff, which you already know what they are. You can just rewind the video and go through it. I hope you guys had fun today, and this was my first tutorial, so bear with me if I made any mistakes, if I forget to cover any of those things. If you have any questions, feel free to just post it in the comments. I'll answer that for you. And as we go further, we'll do different techniques, different things in macro, focus stacking, drop flower photography, motion, capturing the motion, and many more things. So I hope you guys enjoyed today, and that's it from me. Stay well, stay safe, and that's it. See you later. Bye.